I grew up in Denver, Colorado, and I got into ceramics when I was in high school. The work that I make is trying to push some of the boundaries of what's possible to do with ceramics. And although I have made pottery for years, and I still do, what I think that the world knows me by is my large-scale ceramic work. In the spring of 2021, one of my former graduate students sent me a calling for artists for a public art project at the new airport that was being built in Kansas City. And as I kept looking at it closer and closer, I figured I think I could put together a proposal for this project, and that's what I began to do. I conceived of this idea of building 4 large airplane wing forms, and the 2 in the center were going to be the largest ones, and then there would be 2 that would flank them and set back a little bit. Each piece has iconography that's mostly about the place, about Kansas City. I went to school there. I kind of consider it my second home, and so I'm very familiar with it. I just started to pick up on things that are about the place. And as you look at these 4 wings, you can see how the Missouri River is moving through there in the lower third of the piece with this strong blue line. And then below the blue line is basically the pattern of a dragonfly's wing. And then above the river are things that are more connected to Kansas City. So the flowers that you see on the piece, those are from the flowering dogwood tree, which is the state tree of Missouri. And you'll see a bee on the wing on the far left. That's the state insect of Kansas. On the far right, you'll see a eastern bluebird, which is the state bird of Missouri. And in the center, there's a sort of a big circular object that's kind of like the fingerprint of a human. And these things are totemic, and of course humans have made totems forever, but never quite like these because, you know, aviation is relatively new. So they act as sort of large totems. And then on the ailerons across the wings, there's imagery that spells KCMO in semaphore. And then the 2 center wings also have these small airplanes that are Amelia Earhart's airplane that she flew from Hawaii to the United States. She's important because she's from Kansas City. So the entire imagery is all graphically a part of Kansas City in one way or another, or the idea of flight. I'm hoping that people will identify them as wings. I think that they're literal enough that you see them and you say, oh, that's a wing, but it's standing in this vertical orientation, which is unusual. And then they'll start to see the color initially, I think. And then I think as people get closer and closer to them, or as they walk by them, they're going to start to get into all of the imagery. So my hope is that as people see them from a distance, they're going to want to get closer and closer to them and then start to decipher the meaning that's behind them.